Reality TV was never about peace and resolution. It was about wine glasses flying, wigs getting snatched, and one-liners that went viral before memes were even a thing. Whether it was a scepter-wielding housewife, a flavor of love meltdown, or a basketball wife calling someone a non-factor, these confrontations weren't just TV drama, they became culture. They were funny, they were chaotic, and they left us screaming, "Did that really just happen?" Welcome to the countdown of the top 10 funniest reality TV confrontations of all time. The fights that weren't just messy, they were iconically messy. We're talking about the moments that got replayed on Twitter, turned into GIFs, and still live rent-free on your For You page. From Bravo and BET to VH1 and beyond, if it involved drama, shade, or a flying purse, you better believe it's here. Let's count it down. At the top of the list is 10, Buddha versus Tailor Made in I Love New York. Season 2, tensions were already high. Buddha, known for his calm yet dominating presence, often carried himself like the moral compass of the house. Meanwhile, Tailor Made was strategic, calculated, and often underestimated by the other contestants. Their rivalry slowly brewed beneath the surface, and by episode 4, it was undeniable. Things escalated during a group confrontation after Tailor Made a cutting comment about Buddha's character. What followed was one of the most memorable face-offs in reality TV history.
I was right there. Come on, Liz.
After a heated exchange, Buddha pushed Tailor Made, prompting an immediate response from production. He was disqualified on the spot, but the confrontation didn't just end there. Tailor Made, though visibly shaken, remained in the house and ultimately won the season. What makes this confrontation so iconic is the tension that led up to it. It wasn't explosive from the start. It simmered, and when it finally boiled over, the fallout shifted the entire trajectory of the show. This wasn't just a fight. It was a defining moment that showed how quickly reality TV can pivot, and how emotional manipulation, power plays, and timing often matter more than physical strength. Number 9, the spit scene around the world. At number 9, we're looking at a confrontation that didn't just cross the line, it launched it into orbit. In Flavor of Love, Season 1, Tiffany Pollard had already solidified her spot as the show's breakout star. With a sharp tongue and unmatched confidence, she was both feared and adored by the other contestants. One of those contestants was Pumpkin, who, by the final episodes, had become a clear rival. Tensions reached a boiling point during the elimination ceremony. As Flav stood silently, Pumpkin and New York launched into a verbal sparring match that felt more personal than performative. And then, it happened. Pumpkin spit directly at New York, triggering one of the most chaotic reality TV reactions of all time. New York lunged, security scrambled, and Flav? He stood frozen, watching the flames of drama consume the room. While the act itself was beyond disrespectful, it cemented both women as icons in reality TV history, for very different reasons. This moment wasn't just a turning point for the show, it became a cultural reference, a meme before memes, and the clip that would follow both women for the rest of their careers. Number 8, We Were All Rooting for You. Coming in at number 8, we have a reality TV moment so iconic, it left the modeling world in stunned silence, and gave the internet one of its most quoted memes of all time. America's Next Top Model wasn't typically known for screaming matches, but when contestant Tiffany was eliminated in Cycle 4, she responded with unexpected calm. Tyra Banks, however, had other plans. What started as a critique quickly escalated into a full-blown monologue, as Tyra lashed out at Tiffany for what she perceived as a lack of gratitude and seriousness. "I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this." The confrontation was intense, unexpected, and instantly viral. Tyra's tone flipped from nurturing to furious in a heartbeat, and Tiffany, usually one of the show's boldest personalities, could only stand there in disbelief. This wasn't a contestant versus contestant moment, it was host versus hopeful, and a powerful reminder that even on reality TV, the power dynamic behind the camera can shift in an instant. The meme lives on, the soundbite resurfaces every few months, and the intensity still unmatched. Number 7, Prostitution Whore. Coming in at number 7 is a dinner party that turned into a televised demolition, and the moment that officially launched Teresa Giudice into reality TV legend status. In The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 1 finale, tensions between Teresa and Danielle Staub had been simmering for weeks. But during a group dinner, when Danielle pulled out the book, an exposé on her alleged criminal past, things spiraled instantly. And by spiraled, we mean flipped, specifically the dinner table. You were engaged 19 times? Prostitution whore. This was more than a fight. It was a full-body, glass-rattling, adrenaline-fueled confrontation. The sheer force of Teresa's rage, combined with the unfiltered language and physical explosion, created the blueprint for every housewives showdown that followed. And let's be clear, no one's flipping tables quite like Teresa. To this day, fans reference this moment as the scene that turned Archon from a regional spin-off into Bravo's heavyweight franchise. It wasn't just drama, it was pure, unfiltered Bravo history. Number 6, she's dead? At number 6, we have what might be the most accidentally hilarious confrontation in reality TV history, and it all started with a pair of shoes. During Celebrity Big Brother UK, tensions were running high between American reality icon Tiffany Pollard and British TV personality Angie Bowie. When Angie tearfully told Tiffany that David is dead, she was referring to her ex-husband David Bowie. But Tiffany, thinking she meant David Jest, another housemate, immediately spiraled into a full-on emotional meltdown. Cue the chaos. The misunderstanding escalated into a full-on confrontation. Tiffany accused Angie of playing games. The housemates tried to de-escalate, and Tiffany delivered one of the most chaotic lines in reality history. She told me he was dead, and she had his slippers. This wasn't just miscommunication. It was miscommunication with flair, pacing, volume, and pure comedic timing. Tiffany was grieving a man who was very much alive, and no one could convince her otherwise. In the world of reality TV, few moments reached the level of sheer, unhinged absurdity that this one achieved. It was dramatic, tragic, and unintentionally hilarious, all within a span of 2 minutes. And yes, we're still talking about it. Number 5, Nene Leakes versus everybody. At number 5, we're giving this spot to a woman who practically redefined the art of the reality TV confrontation, Nene Leakes. And the truth is, we couldn't pick just one. So we didn't. Because when it comes to iconic housewives moments, Nene has delivered confrontation gold across multiple seasons. But 2 scenes stand above the rest. Let's start with Season 1. In a sit-down that was supposed to be civil, Nene confronts Kim Zolciak over rumors, betrayal, and a certain married man named Big Papa. The mood shifted when Nene, unbothered and unmoved, fired off one of the most iconic lines in Bravo history. Close your legs to married men. Trash box.
Close your legs to married men.
Wow, Nene is...
Fast forward to Season 3, Candy's tour bus. What started as a girls' trip quickly descended into chaos as Nene and Kim clashed again. Nene, already simmering with tension, exploded into a shouting match that had to be physically restrained. I don't want to be your friend and I'm done. These weren't just fights. They were performances. Nene didn't just deliver clapbacks, she authored them. And whether she was calling out affairs or calling for security, she made one thing clear: she's not the one to play with. This spot doesn't go to a single confrontation. It goes to Nene's entire legacy of never backing down, never whispering, and always bringing the moment. Number 4, Megaphone Mayhem, Porsha versus Kenya. Continuing with the Real Housewives drama, at number 4, we have a reality TV showdown that turned the Bravo reunion stage into a full-blown battleground. By Season 6 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kenya Moore and Porsha Williams had built up enough tension to power a 3-part special, and during the reunion taping, it all finally exploded. What started as verbal sparring quickly escalated when Kenya arrived armed with props, a bullhorn and a scepter. Yes, you heard that right. An actual wand-like object she used to gesture and interrupt every time Porsha tried to speak. Porsha warned Kenya repeatedly to stop, but Kenya kept taunting until Porsha stood up, pulled her down by her hair, and shocked the entire cast. It wasn't just a scuffle. It was one of the first physical altercations in RHOA reunion history. The confrontation led to Porsha being escorted off set and later charged with misdemeanor battery. But it also sparked a conversation across social media about provocation, boundaries, and reunion etiquette. And let's be real, the meme economy went wild. From parody remixes to gifs of Kenya's wig askew, This confrontation lives rent-free in reality TV history and in Bravo's most replayed moments of all time. Number 3, we were all rooting for you. Sliding into number 3 is a moment that transcended reality television and became a defining pop culture quote. In Cycle 4 of America's Next Top Model, contestant Tiffany had a history of clashing with judges. But when she was eliminated in a double send-off, her reaction was surprisingly calm. Too calm for host Tyra Banks. What followed was one of the most intense and memed meltdowns in reality TV history. Tyra's explosion, equal parts motivational speaker and disappointed mother, was unexpected, raw, and instantly immortalized. The delivery? Flawless. The forehead vein? Popping. The internet? Never the same. But underneath the drama was a deeper power dynamic at play, one that sparked long-term critiques of reality show leadership, model treatment, and the ethics of public humiliation. Still, no matter how you read it, this moment became a cultural staple. You've seen it referenced in sitcoms, TikToks, even on merch, and 2 decades later we're still quoting it. It was dramatic, it was unhinged, it was meme history, and it's one of the most unforgettable confrontations ever broadcast on reality TV. Number 2, slap of the century, Kim versus Kourtney. Up next, at number 2, we're spotlighting a family feud that took sibling rivalry to a whole new level, on marble floors no less. In season 18 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a disagreement between Kim and Kourtney over work ethics spiraled into something far more intense. It started with a tense conversation. It ended with flying hands and foundation smeared across pristine white walls. "You act like I don't do shit!" The internet reacted immediately. GIFs, memes, rewatches, Twitter exploded with analysis like it was a Game of Thrones fight scene. And that wall? It got its own fan account. But beyond the memes, this moment was raw. It peeled back the perfectly contoured curtain and showed us the tension boiling beneath the glam. It wasn't just about business, it was about boundaries, exhaustion, and 2 women hitting their limit in very different ways. And for fans, it was confirmation. Keeping Up might be a brand, but the drama? Still real enough to leave a mark. Number 1, you're a non-MF factor, betch. Coming in at number 1 is the fight that gave us a phrase so legendary, it left the group chat and entered the pop culture dictionary. It's the Miami showdown between Tammy Roman and Evelyn Lozada. And if you've ever called someone a non-factor, this is the confrontation that made it iconic. Let's rewind. Tammy had recently found out that Evelyn had slept with her ex-husband while they were married. The 2 agreed to meet at a restaurant to talk it out. And it started peacefully, for about 35 seconds. Evelyn tried to downplay the situation, telling Tammy it wasn't personal and that she didn't know they were married. But then she dropped a line that was meant to dismiss the drama. Instead, it became one of the most viral reality TV quotes of all time. "You were a non-mother-on factor, bitch." Tammy's reaction? Instant fury. She repeated the phrase back with venom and then launched a glass across the room. That phrase, non-MF factor, spread like wildfire across memes, t-shirts, reaction GIFs, and reality TV lore. This wasn't just a confrontation. It was a branding moment. It gave us vocabulary, vibes, and the verbal equivalent of a table flip. And in the grand arena of reality TV fights, it was loud, it was quotable, and it still hits just as hard in 2025. From wine bottles to bullhorns, white refrigerators to wig snatches, these confrontations weren't just entertaining, they became internet history. Which moment had you screaming, laughing, or quoting it a decade later? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more countdowns of pop culture's most chaotic highlights. Because if we've learned anything from reality TV, it's that petty is forever.